Daisy May Hudson, director of Halfway. Can you believe she's just 26?
Yeah,
That's
can't
all.
believe that.
And she's got a very, very good and bright career ahead of her. If there's anything to go by, it's an interesting film. What do you think, Ryan?
Very much. Yeah, I think obviously it is a documentary about the housing crisis and the fact that how easy it is just to be homeless. And I think that the fact that she is so young, I think it's just I think it's sort of the ultimate film to inspire people that yes, you can just pick up a camera and make something that is very important, because she makes a point to describe the fact that she started as with the style that is very much home movie, and as she learned how to use a camera and more filmic techniques, she made it into something a bit more. And I think that it's very much I'm interested in her as a filmmaker, because the fact that she has got that sort of sensibility on it, because she did just want to comment it, because she said she's a very active person. She didn't want to be silenced by this. She felt very powerless about what's happening to her. And I think the fact that there are certain moments in the film where you can see her, because she keeps herself out of the film for the majority. Yeah. But there are moments in there where I guess she just couldn't help it, because she was reacting to what the situation was going on. I mean, there's a moment where they receive very bad news about the situation they're in, and you just see her sort of like break a little bit. Yeah. And I think that's a really powerful moment. And the film is told through the lens, a lot of it, through her younger sister. And I think her naivety and sort of innocence to the whole thing, and saying, "Oh, why are you making it so serious?" It gives the film a real power about it. And I think, as we were saying off the air, I think this is a film that draws a lot of comparisons to I, Daniel Blake, a film like that. The fact that it has a lot of it going about that, and the fact that it does have something very important to say, and especially up here in the north, where a lot of people will be, they'll be seeing and feeling very similar things. Yeah, I think, to mention the younger sister, it's interesting because it's a story about the homelessness, but essentially it's a very important part of that younger sister's life. Being 13 and going into 14 when the film's on, it's not just that story, it's also her kind of her going through a very important part of her childhood and of her life. Yeah. And to be in that situation just makes it even more complex and difficult. It's a really interesting film. I like the whole movie style. I think the way with it starting in that kind of raw footage that she sort of just picked it up, and then it improves as the film goes on. I think I could have watched the whole thing as a whole movie. I don't think in this case it's certainly a lesson for sort of amateur filmmaking and stuff. You don't really need that kind of big equipment and stuff that she gets as the film goes on. I think that whole movie style at the start of the film is very raw and very powerful. I couldn't help but feel quite moved. I know it was a packed out screen as well. The woman sitting next to me kind of felt very passionate. I sort of overheard her say that she'd been through a similar kind of thing. She was very active towards it. She was trying to ask plenty of questions. Even after she got them all in. No more questions. Yeah, she got them all. She was keen. But it's a very interesting film. We'll have to keep you updated on when you'll get a chance to see it, though, because this was just a kind of one-off screen as they go on the tour. She's going all across the country, as we heard. I guess probably VOD at some point. Yeah. Maybe we can get in touch with Daisy and see what that plan's going to be. But as soon as we find out, we will let you know. Daniel Blake definitely was a film that was brought up quite a lot, wasn't it? Yes, it was. In the Q&A. I think it's kind of going to keep coming up, because it's obviously Ken Loach has been a very important film. I think she could do similarly important things. I think she's got that voice. She's got that very admirable attitude of just pick it up and go on with it. Something that I envy her for that so much, to have that gusto just to make it. But it's fantastic. So keep an eye out for Halfway.